Hello and welcome back once again. I am Touchpad McQuack and we are in the process of playing Final Fantasy, the Pixel Remaster. Some of you may notice that the level might be different because when I attempted to record this before, I forgot to do a video capture. So it was 40 minutes of me just talking to the computer with a black screen. But let's go ahead and let's get our journey started, shall we? Where we left off last time, we had just beaten Garland, rescued the princess, and apparently the Princess Sarah is better than our Sarah, so we decided to leave and go on our adventure. Now, because the old footage was different, and I accidentally saved over that save file without being able to get all that video, I basically had to start over, but it didn't take very long. You'll see it only took 12 minutes to equip myself, buy what I needed, and go beat Garland. Okay, and in the process, I was thinking, and I think I'm going to leave the Gil at 4 times right now. It's just going to prevent me from having to grind for money in the future if we just make 4 times as much along the way. So here we go. We're setting off once again. And my least favorite part of this entire game is being stuck and watching this scene. It's a beautiful scene. It's great to see for the first time. But after the first time, you get a little tired of it. And so their quest began. As the 4 warriors of light, they felt overwhelmed by the great task destiny had placed before them. They did not know the true significance of the 4 crystals they held in their hands. The crystals that once, long ago, held a light that shone so brilliantly. The time for their journey had come. The time to cast off the veil of darkness and bring the world once more into light. First time I saw that as a child, I was amazed. It took me somewhere in my imagination. But then afterwards, having to watch it every single time, and you can't skip through. You have to watch it. Just kind of ate away at me. Okay, here we go. And I believe when we talked to one of the people in Cornelia, they said that somebody lived to the north on this little peninsula up here. So we're just going to make a quick trek up here to see who lives in this little cave. Oh, Matoya's cave. Frontwards, backwards, any way you see. Such a strange spell to swish swish a ree. Eno da laknak swish swisharoo. Okie dokie. Bump. Ouch! My eye! My eye! Ouch! I can't see a blasted thing without my crystal eye. Who could have stolen it from me? Wasn't me. It was this broom here. Who says the same thing as the other broom? What about you? Do you say something different? No. Say the same thing. What about you down here? Do you say something different? No. And just so everybody can see, Eno Leda Leknek does actually cancel and loan. It in the original it was start and or select and A or something like that, and it would bring up the map, which for the longest time I didn't know existed because I had the or my friend had the actual map along with the monster chart. I spent hours studying that map and that monster chart. Oh, back to some more goblins. Just going to go ahead and beat them up real quick. Take their milk money. Because that's what heroes do. Beat up poor innocent little monsters. Now we're going to go this way. Ooh, crazy horses. These guys can actually be tough. Now, I did go out and buy the magic that was in Corneria during the replay because I had the money. It didn't make much of a difference. I still went and beat him just as easy. Because, you know, the kingdom's greatest swordsman can be beaten by 4 level 2 adventurers. In the original, this track was insanely dangerous because you were still really low level. You didn't have much in the way of spell. I mean, look at this. We're slightly over leveled, and I only have the ability to cast a spell 4 times. Now, the Gigas Worms happen to be weak against fire. I do not remember what the ogres are weak against. If they even have a weakness. I always thought it was ice, because that's what my friend told me. And his reasoning was, look how much clothes they have. Of course they're going to get cold. Another level. I still have the EXP multiplier on simply because in the original version of this game, you had to grind. Oh, well, you didn't have to if you knew what you were doing. But I did because RNG has a tendency to dislike me. All right, let's see what this person says. Please help us. What is it? Is it a monster attack? You won't tell me, will you? Okay. I guess I gotta find out myself. You. Those blasted pirates, they're running around looting and pillaging like they own the place. There's pirates. Okay, well, at least somebody told us what's going on. Okay, so instead of 4 old men in this side over here, there's more beds. So let's take a quick nap. Okay, headed back down. Now, this building right here is where you will resurrect somebody if they die. Because I believe we did that in the last episode, because I believe the white mage died. Okay, let's see what's in the magic shop. Find anything to your liking? Okay, this is an interesting one. So, Blina cures darkness. Darkness is not that bad. It lowers your hit rate slightly, but for most battles where darkness will be a thing, the Black Mage will just cast a spell to clear the board. And the Monk gets so many hits that even if he misses some of them, he's still going to do a ton of damage. Silence, I think there's only like a handful of enemies, maybe 6 or 7 enemies, and there's 120 enemies in the game, that cast spells at you reliably. Most of them are abilities. So silence is almost useless that I've noticed. Null shock, definitely useful. We definitely want to grab that one up. That will have lightning damage, and there will be enemies that do use lightning on us. Invis, raise one ally's evasion. I think I've only ever gotten Null shock for level 2 because I barely ever used the others. But just for completion's sake, we'll go with silence and we'll go with invis. Now, notice here, the cost of these spells is 250 gil. The cost of the level 1 spells was 100, so they doubled it. They more than doubled in price. Oh no, they were 50 in the first place. It's 5 times that amount. So I wonder what it's going to be like in the next town when we have the next set of spells. Okay, on to the black magic. Do you have Meteor? No. But you do have Blizzard. Okay, so Temper. Temper's a good spell. It'll raise one ally's attack. Slow is also a good spell. Because the way slow works in this game, it doesn't slow down your gauge for how often you attack. It reduces the number of attacks that you get, which some people will use slow and slow-like effects against us. Okay, let's run over here to the weapons and see what we have there. Okay, we have a broadsword. We have 2 weapons here that, actually 3 weapons that the fighter can use that are better. I always went with the broadsword because it has almost as much attack as the battle axe, but it's got double the accuracy. And the way the old game worked, every 32 accuracy, you see down there accuracy is 16. With this, it's... That don't make sense, but with every 32 that you had, you got another attack. I'm not exactly sure how they do it in this version of the game because that +5 only gave us 2 accuracy. I'm sure someone out there knows and will probably tell me. You'll also notice I didn't pick up the leather cap and give to this guy because it's just 1 defense. It doesn't make that big a difference. He's going to die anyway. Now let's run over to the other side of town where they happen to have the armor. Okay, chainmail. Okay, iron armor. You'll notice that the chainmail is 15 weight and the iron arm is 23 weight. So it's 8 units, pounds, whatever you want to call them, heavier, but it does provide a significant amount of defense, especially for this portion of the game. But I think we will buy just... Okay. I was confused for a second. Now, the monk has an interesting mechanic that his level affects both his damage when he has no weapon and his defense when he has no armor. So at certain parts of the game, it's actually better for you to unequip
the monk. Like you see here, the nunchucks still only give him a +3 in damage. He's got a 17. And you noticed once we took the armor off of him, his defense stayed the same because the leather armor is the exact same as his defense currently, but it actually lowers his evasion. So for the monk, there will be times where we will not be equipping anything on him. And that's one of the reasons why I love the monk, because the monk is cheap. You can get by without putting a lot on the monk. I think in the original version, if the monk had any armor on, it negated his natural defense. But if he had no armor on, he had great defense, but he could be affected by things really easily. Okay, so we're just going to buy a few potions. Not many. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you guys yet. I'm going to see if there's somebody else to talk to real quick. Was there a person over here? No? I want to make sure I talk to everybody before I talk to these guys who are obviously pirates. Okay, so it's just the two guys. All right, so I guess I can talk to this. And and just what be ye doing here? Ye wouldn't be looking to make trouble with Bicky's buccaneers. You've got cannonballs of steel to be taken on the great pirate Bicky. Keelhaul 'em, boys. Aye, aye, Captain. We'll make their bones go crunch. So, this is going to be a relatively easy fight because they do not have much HP. It's like 15 or less or something like that. So, if we put as many as we can asleep, then they'll just not be able to attack until we beat them up. Because, like all heroes, we are bullies. I wonder if they are weak to thunder because they are pirates. Okay, we won. And as we win and they're defeated, they disappear from life. I'd be most sorry, young masters. I'll be making no more fuss, I swear. I want you to take me ship for your troubles. Can you find it in your heart to forgive an old pirate? Yes. Because you gave us your ship. Now, do we have a crew for it? No. I've had myself a change of heart. I plan to buckle down and be the hardest worker in town. You believe me, don't you? I'm pretty sure you got plenty of treasure from your plundering and looting days. Because of you, we needn't fear the pirates anymore. Thank you very much. They say there are elves living across the sea. Ooh. Remember, in the first episode, some old men said that the elf king had a key for us, right? But the elf prince has fallen into a deep sleep and hasn't woken up. Well, good thing we got to talk to the king and not the prince. Because of you, we needn't fear the pirates anymore. Thank you so much. Isn't that what you said? I'll leave it be. I don't think there's any ports to the north. A ship can only dock at a port, you know. I guess we don't have a dinghy. No rowboats for us. Because of you, we needn't fear the pirates anymore. I fled here from Melmond, a town far to the west. It is a pitiable sight. The earth rots and monsters attack in the night. Is there nothing you can do to help? Well, one thing at a time. I've got to go see an elf king. But I'm going to rest. Okay, and we're off. Oh, what do you say? Do you say something different? There are many monsters in the Aldean Sea. Best be careful. Okay, I'm gonna save in this next spot right here. That way, in case there's another mishap, we'll have a backup. Okay. Now, if you go in the ship, there's sea battles. Ooh, and these guys, these buccaneers, they are the best source of money at this point of the game because I believe they give you 2 or 3 times as much money as they do experience. So if you didn't want to level too much, in the Pixel Remasters, we have the ability to alter the leveling, the multiplier for the experience and money. But in the original, you didn't. But the original also ran on a very specific random encounter table. So if you knew which encounter you wanted, you could fight it, rest at an inn, save the game, and then restart and repeat the whole thing over again. Ow, the poor monk. He got bit by 2 sharks. Another thing that this game has that the original didn't, it has a defend command. I like that. I don't exactly know how effective the defend command is, because in some RPGs, the defend command will reduce it by half. The ones that reduces it by much more. I remember one where it reduced it by half, but then you also healed 10%. I'm just going to stop in here and take a quick nap. The seas can be a very dangerous place. Ooh, more buccaneers, but they ambushed us. Luckily, they mostly attacked one person. Is sleep actually going to work? It worked on all but one of them. They must have upped their percentages for the Pixel Remasters, because I don't remember status effects working nearly this well in the original. They might have, they just might not have for me. Okay, they said across the sea. Now, an interesting thing that the original had is they had a enemy morale system where the enemies had a certain morale number, and what you would do is you would take twice your level, minus that from the morale number, and then they would have a random number from 1 to 50. If they scored lower than 80 after everything was added up, there was a chance for them to run. And the lower they got from 80, the more likely they ran. So as you leveled up, it actually got harder to kill things because they started to run away. And you might notice I'm a chronic saver. I have been forced to go back and redo things after a few hours too many times. All right, let's see what this person says. Oh, they got to be an elf. They've got the ears. I just don't know what we can do. Please help our prince. Well, what's wrong with the prince? Is he in trouble with the mob? Does he need money? I mean, I don't have a lot of it, but he can have, you know, my 7,000 gil. Not gonna say anything? Okay, fine. I guess I'll figure it out later. Welcome. Okay, so the Iron Nunchaku is quite possibly the last weapon we are going to buy for the monk. Because after a certain time, past a certain level, the monk's regular punches will be far stronger than anything he can equip. Ooh, the armor shop. Let's see what we got in here. Iron armor. Okay, we needed that for the fighter. So we're going to take that. Copper armlets. Yeah, 2 of those. Ooh, an iron shield and a helm. Oh, with 2 leather caps. Oh. See, even if we put this on him, his defense is less than what it would be on its own. Even if we kept the leather armor, which gave him a defense of 6, I believe, with the leather cap, that's still a defense of 7. So technically, at this level, he is just as protected by going completely with nothing. And that's, like I said before, that's one of the reasons I love the monk. Because you're going to need that cheapness when you find out how expensive the spells are about to be. Because in the first town, they were 50. In the last town, they were 250. Anybody want to take a guess how much they are here? For our level 3 spells, they are 1,000 gil. And we're going to need fire, and we're going to need thunder. I think I'm going to save some money and not buy the 3rd one. But I might buy hold when we get more money. Okay, over here. Oh, look, there's some gravestones. It's a gravestone. It's a gravestone. Anybody want to bet this one says it's a gravestone? Here lies Link. Oh. Poor Link. So this world's ruled by Ganon. Gotcha. Okay, we have Cura. That's the next level of Cure spell. And we have the Diara, which is the next level of Dia spells, which is something you use against the undead. It's one of the only thing, or not one of the only, it's one thing that the undead are all weak against. So any creature that counts as an undead is going to be weak against this. The problem is it's only useful against undead, but it does deal significant damage. Then we have Null Blaze, which we're going to need for cutting the fire damage in half. We also have the heal spell, and this is the one thing I've always had a problem with. Why is Cura and the heal spell on the same level? Because it's not like you're using MP, you're using spell slots. So it just always irritated me. But I think for now, I'll get Null Blaze. And let's see what else we got here. Oh, there's a person. No one knows where Astos, king of the Dark Elves, has gone. Is that a second magic shop? But we just saw the magic shop over there. Let's go see what it's in this one. Oh my. So, remember that other magic shop? The magic was 1,000 per spell. Here it's 2,500 gil per spell. And this is the why I've got the ×4 money turned on. So I can avoid the grind of having to buy or just to get these spells. There is some very expensive equipment in the game, but they pale in comparison to spells. With 2 magic casters, or heaven forbid you bring a red mage and have 3 magic casters, you'll never have money. Unless you find some way to do that. Our prince was meant to become the elf king, but what will happen now? I am a sage. When the time is right, the future is revealed to me. I shall wait patiently until then. I think that means he's going to tell us what to do after we do whatever we're supposed to do next. Okay, the black magic spells are just as expensive, but you'll notice here we got haste. Haste doesn't make you act faster, it makes you hit twice as much. One of the things I loved doing as a child was hasting the monk and seeing him destroy everything. It was such a satisfying sight. But we will have to be back for these spells, because if you look at our spell list, we can technically cast 1 4th level spell right now. So that means that we will be able to cast those spells whenever we can get them. I'm probably not going to end up buying them until after we do the next bit of the game, because that's when we'll have our money. Okay, what's this person say? Weapons and armor made of mithril are sturdy and powerful. You should give them a try. You'll be surprised. Why I find this funny is in the original game, it said weapons made of silver were very powerful. This town had a silver sword in it, and it was expensive. Other remakes of this game have the silver sword or an equivalent to it. This game does not. That silver sword is one of the reasons why a lot of people even got through the next bit that we're going to go through. Now, we do have all of these other special items here that kind of make up for it, but not having that silver sword really hurts. Okay, so let's see here. I know, because I'm played this game before, I know we're going to need some of these. And we're going to need a lot of these. And I hope with us just going there, we'll still be able to do it. But it looks like we are out of time for today. So I'm going to go back to the inn. And we are going to leave it off there. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming and joining me on this adventure. If you want to, come and join for the next one. All right, have a great day.